Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you as normal. My name is Nick, I hope things are going well. As we know, life can be stressful, it's all about our own perspectives on it. And if you are feeling stressed, then talk to someone else about it and get your own perspective out. So here's stress, I'll put it all in my hand and it blows away. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, the future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Okay, so what's been happening in 2018? Well, we're about 2 months in, and seems to have gone quite quickly. This is sort of like a channel-y sort of like random news roundup, really, where we just chew the fat, essentially. But I have got a few things I want to say to you. Now, about a month or so ago, I put up 2 videos which were filmed on my phone, so not the most high-tech videos in the world, to do with Windows 10. I did have some problems with a creators update they did. Some people had no problems with this update. It was quite huge, which is a forced update by Microsoft. A lot of people on Twitter had similar problems if their computer had a certain setup. Now, if you haven't watched those videos, essentially what happened is I was using my computer as normal, and then the whole thing shut down doing a reboot, and then it wouldn't reload again. And my computer was useless and I thought it was ruined. Through hours and hours of work, I managed to boot it up again in safe mode by mucking about with a few options. I'm not the most techie person in the world, and we managed to click on the restore point, which brought the computer back to an earlier position. So I thought that had been sorted, and the moment I went online again with it again, it did the upgrade again and I was back to the same position I was before. So not good. A lot of people had this situation, and it just wastes, when you haven't got too much time available and you're also running a YouTube channel, that thing can pretty much scupper you. And considering that, I didn't do too badly, I don't think. So sorry if things dropped, but I don't think they dropped by that much. So again, when that happened, I managed to bring my computer back to life again by doing the similar thing I'd done before. And then I didn't go online with it. I had an old rickety laptop, which is recording the sound down there, and I didn't really want to go online. I did a few things there and transferred some files over from my main computer to this computer. Now, my main computer PC is a lot more powerful than my laptop. It can process videos in about 1/10 of the time that the laptop can do, so I can't always go on the laptop. Anyway, I gave it a couple of weeks. I wanted Microsoft to perfect their updates they've done, because basically it sabotaged a lot of people's computers, and I hoped it would fix it. Few people had ideas what I could do to try and prevent software updates in the future, but that'll leave you open to viruses, because I believe the main reason for this major update was to try and help you against major viruses, I presume. Well, I've changed my computer to I couldn't block, because I don't have Windows 10 Pro, I just have the normal Windows 10. I can't block these updates. So I put, on a recommendation of someone, I put it on metered access, which limits the amount of things you can, I believe, download in a day. So this huge update was just updating in sort of like segments, and now I've got a little red cross on my computer now at the bottom. When I tick that, it says upload failed, or download failed, couldn't complete the download because I didn't have enough open data for it to do it. So it's doing it in small blocks. So far the computer's done one update and it's actually worked. So either Windows have improved the actual download itself, or because my computer's doing it in tinier segments now, it can cope with it a little bit better. I think a lot of it before was knocking out drivers, and some of it as well might be that the various programs have updated their drives automatically, so when this update is coming, it's fixing it. But, you know, why can't we have it back in the old days where stuff just worked straight away, there were no updates, but it's a modern day world, you can't keep looking back, which is an odd thing to say on a retro gaming channel, but there's viruses out there, unscrupulous people trying to cause damage, so they have to keep doing downloads. But I think this one was a bit rushed out. But anyway, I'm back on my feet now. Computer seems to be working so far for a few weeks after I've gone back online. So if you're having a similar problem, put it on metered access in your settings. I still don't fully know what that means, but it seems to have helped. Okay, now I mentioned a bit about stress earlier on in the opening to this video. I'm someone that suffered from, I don't pretend I'm not, that suffered from quite a bit of stress in the past. It's not as bad as it used to be in the past. I know a lot of people suffer from stress that watch this as well, and that's how they've come about this channel. But you don't underestimate that depression can be crippling. If it gets a hold of you, it's worst. Even getting out of bed is a major effort. Even talking to someone is a major effort, and it stops you from doing anything. So I do understand it. And if you are going through that and you've got no one to talk to, I do recommend contacting a doctor if you can. That's what I did. Or even if you want to send me an internal message, I will answer that either through YouTube if I see it, or Twitter. So that's the whole thing of this channel. Really was born out of stress and depression. Have a bit of fun with the retro gaming. We share ideas. It's all quite friendly, and we come together as a group. We lean on each other and tell rubbish jokes. So that was the sort of like idea behind it. A lot of my stress come from the previous job I had. I'd like to do this full time, really. I think if you look at all my skills together, it leans towards presentation, production, that sort of thing. You might disagree, but I think that's what happens. So whenever you start a new job, which I did, I got out of one stressful situation, started my new job. There's a honeymoon period where everything's great, this is the best ever, and then you're more or less back in the same position. I'm not quite in the same position, but someone that suffers from stress, I believe 1 in 4 people are, from different degrees. Again, I'm starting to feel it ever so slightly when the going gets tough. Except this time my travelling is a lot longer, and this, which is my stress release YouTube, I've got less time to do this, although I try and keep it running. So it's out of the frying pan into the fire, so to speak. But we'll keep going. I'm sure things are get better. It's more money than I had before, but you've got to go out really. What is your actual happiness? I mean, I'm not a flamboyant person. I haven't got any kids, I don't drive fast sports cars or go for expensive dinners. So really, I'm a bit of a minimalist, and running a YouTube channel in your spare time does in fact save you money. So it's not all about making money, it's all about saving money as well. And so I don't really need a great deal of money, really. To be honest with you, I'm someone that gets, when I go out, I'll probably get drunk on 1.5 beers or less. Sometimes if someone even spills a beer on me, I'm drunk. I'm quite slim, so I get filled up quite quick, so I don't eat much in food. So, you know, I'm weighing up the idea. I'm never happy, me. Should I work locally on less money, maybe reduce my hours, and commit more to this? But it's a bit of the unknown, because one of the spanners in the works really is, when you go through a bad time, you do get things out of perspective. Oh, I'll do this, I'll trade in shares, do like this. And the reality of it is that's a really tough thing to get into, and you might not. And you might be doing that a few months and then think, oh no, what an idiot, why did I leave a higher paying job? So I'm in that sort of area, really. If I can do this and part-time. But the spanner in the works, as I say, is on the 20th of February. YouTube dramatically changed what channels could be monetized. The problem is with trying to do this full time, if you're building up your channel honestly and trying to move to that sort of position, was the amount of channels where basically they put hundreds of videos up quite quickly. They're not very good quality. Quite often there'll be clickbait for people to click on them, trying to get views. They're on a false sort of way. They're trying to get subs without doing very little work. They record stuff off the TV, sometimes get loads of views that way, and there's not much creation to it. And because there's so many people doing that, thousands and thousands and thousands, it buries all the other channels that are trying to do it honestly into the background. Now, if these people can keep going on and on, eventually it's going to pay dividends, because what happens is you build up a catalogue of hopefully quality videos. Now, because YouTube rules have changed, you need to have 4,000 hours at least watched in a year. That knocks out all the clickbait, because all the clickbait ones is when people click on it and said this video isn't quite what I want, and click out again. So they've only been watching it 10 seconds. Well, hopefully these videos that I put up, that's the aim, that people are at least watching half of it, maybe all of it, and so you're there. Also as well, people need 1,000 subs, so they can't just open a channel, do a load of waste videos and earn money straight away. So some people, the lazy people out there, might not think it's worth it to do that and go away. Some people are doing it just for the money, purely, without any build-up. Remind you, I was doing this 3.5 years before I even monetized the channel. There's other channels I watched that did a similar thing. One quite recently contacted me over Facebook Messenger, Main Master, If you want to check out his channel, he's a good chap. He's only recently monetized his channel as well. I didn't do that, so we've got 1,800 subscribers. So I'm a big fan of that sort of thing. It shows the people are doing it for the right reasons, essentially. Because of these new rules, hopefully the genuine people, you never know. You never know with this thing. YouTube isn't that stable, because it should start coming through and get a bit more back. So that is the actual hope. Now, talking about my work again, every so often you do get a perspective when you're going through stress, because it is all about perspective. With stress, you can convince yourself that you're no good, when really that isn't the case at all. It's been taking me a long time to get home, and what has surprised me really, well, it's quite sad actually, the amount of people. I go up on the South into Liverpool Street line, and it must be on a regular basis, at least once a month or every 2 months, the train is critically delayed because someone's thrown themselves in front of the train, been hit by it, and there needs to be a police investigation, so trains are cancelled, that sort of thing. And that's a really sad thing to happen. So if you are, as I say again, if you are watching this video and you feel like it's the end of the world, everything is against you, things like that, do actually at least contact one person, if that be a friend. You haven't got a friend, and it's the hardest thing to do, I appreciate that. Go and see a doctor, even go and talk to the Samaritans, or if you don't want to speak to anyone, drop me a line and I indeed will answer it, because I've gone through it myself, not to the degree where I've thought about, well, let's not go there anyway. Yeah, but send a message, and I'm sure I'll answer that when I next get to it. Okay. So yeah, so working local and doing this. Okay, I also wanted to mention as well, talking about perspective, I mean, always appreciate what you've got in life. Always look at that. Never always want more, although it is a natural thing to do. When I was on the underground coming home the other day, I wasn't the most happiest day I've had, and I smelt this really awful smell. I thought, where's this smell coming from? It smelled of a mixture of body odour and urine. And then when I looked up, there was a guy walking down the carriage, a homeless guy in bare feet, really dirty, mucky. He's been on the streets for years, I presume, talking to us all the way through. I don't know how he got on the underground there, but the smell just wouldn't go away. And on a packed carriage, you know, so, you know, no matter how bad things are, you don't really want to swap your life. So I wish I could help him more, but what can you do, really? Okay, so yes, let's end this one on a positive. Let's go up, seeing it's a Sunday. Now I want to get with this. It's all about interaction. So this video is recorded. There's no live interaction at all. There is a poll up on the community tab. If you haven't seen that or haven't voted that, I need to work out how to do it. But I'm toying the idea of doing live streaming. We won't be playing a game or anything like. It'd be like a live chat, like we was in a forum or at the pub, things like that. Now, this is all very low level and hypothetical at the moment, so would you like to see live streaming? Basically is when we talk about retro gaming, nonsense, things like that. I think when I'm doing it from how I understand it, there's sort of like a message thing that goes down. You can type in your questions or join in the conversation, that comes down. I read that and we bring that into the conversation. So would you like to see that, yes or no? If you could put your answers actually in that community forum tab bit, if you haven't already, that would be appreciated. Have a look at that. That's, again, that could be a stress buster where we share stuff and all that sort of thing. And it's more live interactive. I think before we did a Q&A, but that's really you give me your questions and then I think about it and answer it. This would be, I've got no thinking time and vice versa. The only problem with this is we're going to get the occasional nutcase in the forum, but we'll just have to learn to ignore those people without starting any arguments. Worst case scenario, because we're all around the world doing different time spans, I picked the wrong time and then no one's watching. It's just me sitting here for a while and then just me and some nutcase joins in on death row. And no one else at all. So if it does end up a yes, this overall poll vote, that's it, then we'll have to do another one or ask what time do you want it. Okay, so I hope I've covered a few things there. Don't forget what I said about the stress and stuff. We can do this thing. Earth is random, the universe is massive, and we're just a blinking eye of that. So thank you for bearing with me for that one, because it's a bit more serious than usual. And till next time, take great care of yourself, have a good week, and till next time, goodbye. Goodbye.